On tonight's National Rundown, we have updates on the Baltimore Bridge wreckage, Donald Trump vows to create a new religious holiday, and the bird flu has been found at a Texas chicken farm. Stay with us.
Clouds are still prevalent in the sky, but the sun is poking out over there. There's still a bit of a brisk breeze going on, but at least the rain has finally stopped.
Open up your books to page 360.
Did you just look at your phone while you was in class? You played yourself.
Talking about inspirational quotes.
You gotta believe in yourself. Don't ever play yourself. The key is to make it, so make it.
Louise, can you give me an example of an inspirational quote?
Don't play yourself. The key is to make it.
And who said that?
I did. Now that's a major key alert.
Learn the real major keys to getting to college at getschool.com.
Welcome to the National Rundown. A second channel opened on Tuesday, allowing some vessels to bypass wreckage at that Baltimore Bridge collapse. Work is ongoing to open a third channel that will allow larger vessels to pass through the bottleneck. At a news conference, Governor Wes Moore said rough weather conditions over the last 2 days, including thunderstorms, have made it unsafe for divers to try to recover the bodies of the 4 construction workers who are believed trapped underwater in the wreckage. We promised these families that we would do everything in our power to bring them closure, but also my directive is to complete this mission with no injuries and no casualties, Moore said. Former President Trump continues to answer to his base of voters. Trump vowed to make November 5th of each year Christian Visibility Day if reelected. Trump's concerns come after President Biden wished Americans who celebrate a happy day of trans visibility. The holiday for the trans community, which is always celebrated on March 31st, happened to fall on Easter Sunday this year. The coincidence prompted outrage from the presidential nominee and his base, who viewed the day as an affront to the Christian faith. The bond between people and their pets can be incredible, and scientists say personality plays a big part in finding the right one. American and British researchers are harnessing the power of artificial intelligence to help do a bit of matchmaking. Ian Lee has the story from London.
Searching for a new best friend often comes down to a gut feeling. Chelsea Battle adopted her Cavapoo Peanut during the pandemic.
One of the most important relationships in my life. He's my son.
While Chelsea got lucky, researchers hope artificial intelligence will take the chance out of it by predicting personality types in dogs.
These personality types are defined based on the behavioral attributes, not the breed, not the gender of the dog.
Using behavioral records of more than 70,000 dogs from the University of Pennsylvania, computer scientists from the University of East London developed an algorithm to classify canines into 5 groups with up to 99% accuracy. They found dogs fall into one of these categories: excitable and hyper-attached, anxious and fearful, aloof and predatory, reactive and assertive, and calm and agreeable.
This is centimeter.
With this information in paw, researchers hope to eventually predict the best dogs for sniffing out drugs or guiding the blind.
If we have an idea about the dog personality in advance, we can select the right dog for the right job.
Or the right match for a family. A high-tech solution to finding the perfect pup, whatever the personality. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
At least 9 are dead and a further 934 people are injured after an earthquake hits Taiwan. A further 75 people have been rescued from tunnels, while 137 remain trapped. 50 of those who remain stranded are the employees of Silk's Place Hotel Taroko. The 7.4 magnitude earthquake that hit the island on Wednesday was the strongest the nation has faced in 25 years, according to the U.S. Geological Survey. There have been 29 aftershocks with magnitudes higher than 4.0 near the epicenter of the disaster, with one even reaching a magnitude 6.0. When we get back from the break, updates from a bird flu outbreak in Texas.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
The largest fresh egg producer in the U.S. has found bird flu in chickens at a plant. Cal-Maine Foods, Inc. said that approximately 1.6 million laying hens were destroyed after the infection was found at a facility in Parma County, Texas. The department said it received confirmation of the disease Monday from the lab and that it is the 4th time since 2022 that the disease was detected at a commercial facility in Michigan. The company said there is no known bird flu risk associated with eggs that are currently in the market, and no eggs have been recalled. According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, eggs that are handled properly and cooked are safe to eat. Now it's time to take a look at the long road it took Ms. Swift to become a billionaire. So what sparked Taylor Swift's claim to billionaire status?
So Forbes has first identified Taylor Swift as a billionaire in October of 2023 due to her mass success of the Eras Tour. But the magazine had reported that she is the first musician to become a billionaire solely off of earnings from her music and her performances, while other musicians like Rihanna, for example, were named billionaires long before Taylor Swift was even in the running, but their net worths were tied to products and partnerships like Rihanna's Fenty makeup line and Savage clothing line.
Yeah, and so then what caused the Eras Tour to make this much revenue?
Social media has played a huge, huge part in all of this. Many concert goers have posted videos and pictures of the intricate costume designs and the stage setups of the Eras Tour, creating a brand new social media craze over this past summer. And because of this, many were eager to see this show, leading some Swifties to travel to other countries like Italy, France, and even Sweden.
Yeah. So does she have anything else in the works besides the Eras Tour?
Absolutely. This woman has been telling us that she is a mastermind for a pretty long time now, and I think that the public is finally starting to see why. In about 2 weeks, she will release her 11th studio album entitled The Tortured Poets Department, while fans are also hoping for the re-release of Reputation Taylor's version this year, although Swift has not confirmed any of those details yet. But Swift has also won the iHeartRadio Artist of the Year, Pop Artist of the Year, and Tour of the Year at the iHeartRadio Awards on Monday, where she teased the continuation of her Eras Tour and her upcoming album during a virtual acceptance speech.
Well, thank you, Bryn.
Thank you.
Cases of neurovirus have been rising steadily in recent months. Outbreaks are impacting communities nationwide, but the Northeast has been hit hardest. Cities such as Philadelphia have reported spikes in neurovirus outbreaks, prompting public health officials to urge residents to take precautions. Neurovirus symptoms include a sudden loss of appetite, stomach pain, and generally feeling off, followed by intense vomiting and diarrhea. People with neurovirus may become dehydrated due to the loss of fluids through vomit and diarrhea. Rest and consuming plenty of fluids to replenish those lost are the best ways to combat the illness. A Florida man is sentenced to 14 months in prison for threatening to kill Chief Justice John Roberts. Neil Breege Sidhwani reportedly left the Supreme Court justice a threatening voicemail in July of last year and faced up to 5 years in prison before pleading guilty. Sidhwani has also been sentenced to 3 years of supervised release post-imprisonment. Coming up after the break, more information on the ocular syphilis epidemic. Stay tuned.
Got a quarter?
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Buzzed, busted, and broke, because buzz driving is drunk driving.
There is an epidemic on the rise for the more than 200,000 plus Americans who are living with syphilis. The debilitating STD has been on the rise in recent years, with an 80% increase from 2018 through 2022. If left untreated for an extended period of time, the disease can cause blindness and other vision damage. Because the symptoms can be misdiagnosed as other illnesses, syphilis often goes untreated until it is too late, being responsible for up to 5% of all eye inflammation cases. Luckily, there are ways to combat the disease. Most patients can be cured after a 2-week antibiotic treatment and anti-inflammatory medicine. Now, let's head over to sports, where we have the latest updates on prop betting, Rashee Rice, and March Madness.
Louisiana has become the latest in a series of states to ban prop betting on college athletics amid the rapid onset of sports betting in recent years. The ban, which will take effect on the 1st of August this year, aims to protect the safety and integrity of college sports. The act of prop betting allows for bettors to gamble on a particular player's points or yards in a game, as opposed to the total game's outcome or spread. While bettors will still be able to bet on the college games, the elimination of prop betting will help to curb the harassment college athletes have been receiving from online gamblers. In football news, Super Bowl winning wide receiver Rashee Rice, who plays for the Kansas City Chiefs, has found himself battling legal troubles after video was released of him causing a car crash in Dallas over the weekend. In the now viral video, you can see Rice flee the scene after racing a Corvette with a rented Lamborghini SUV on Dallas's North Central Expressway. Despite initial attempts to flee, Rice has begun to cooperate with authorities and has taken full responsibility for the crash, according to his attorneys. While our calendars may have flipped to April this past weekend, the fanfare of March Madness rages on. In the women's bracket, the Iowa Hawkeyes are facing off against the University of Connecticut for a spot at the championship, but fans of women's basketball may have to face off against one another in order to even get a seat. According to ticket resale platform Logitix, the average ticket price for a women's game are more than double that of the men's games right now. Demand and fanfare for women's sports has been partially driven by Caitlin Clark, the Iowa-based phenom who has become the all-time scorer for Division I women's basketball earlier in the season. Clark was also recently honored by the Associated Press, winning their coveted Player of the Year award for the second year in a row. Back to Abigail at the desk.
Stick around. We have this weekend's weather forecast when we get back. Lizzo clarifies that her statement on quitting last week was not in reference to making music. The singer posted on Instagram that she felt the world didn't want her in it anymore, ending the post by saying, "I quit," raising questions from fans on what she meant. She then made a video on Tuesday explaining that she will continue to make music and is just quitting giving attention to negative energy. And now we have Silent Michaels with the weather.
I'm Silent Michaels with this week's weather rundown. Tonight, we have a high of 54 and a low of 37. The clouds remain and there is some rain still fizzling out from the past few days. Coming up tomorrow, we have a high of 51 with a low of 38. On Saturday, we jump 1 degree with a high of 52 and a low of 35. The clouds will remain, but the sun may come to start to poke out shortly. On Sunday, we have a high of 53 and a low of 37. That 1 degree jump once again. On Monday, we have a high of 61 with a low of 36. The sun's going to start to come out and it's starting to get nicer. On Tuesday, we may even be able to lay outside and enjoy some sun with a high of 70 and a low of 42. That's all for the highs and lows for this week. Thank you. So the sun teased us a little bit earlier, but the clouds quickly came back today. Luckily, well, despite all of the giant puddles everywhere from the rain, the flowers are blooming, so all this rain is good, as well as the trees all over are starting to bud and bloom. They're absolutely beautiful. I am so excited for spring. I'm sure everybody else is. Are you excited for spring?
Yeah, I'm also excited for this rain to stop. I'd like to be able to walk around without being drenched.
It was so bad the other day. It was freezing and like little tiny sprinkles of rain pellets were coming out. It was insane.
It was terrible.
I know. Awful. I can't believe it. Well, luckily it's going to get warmer. I think Tuesday's going to be like 70, almost positive on that. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
That's all for tonight's newscast. Thanks for watching.